starts. We have a level match, and it's sometimes, well, it feels right, doesn't it? Goal.
Well, I've seen it all now.
No score.
I have licked.
That's not rugby.
Oh, hi there. Welcome back. 3 in a row. Great. So today we're looking at the outside centre position. In rugby league, there are two centres, number 3 and number 4, but they play basically left and right. So there's not a huge amount of difference. It's typically depends on who the winger is outside them. The combinations there depends on which is their dominant hand for them passing. However, in rugby union, the inside centre and outside centre positions are very different. Well, not very different, they're both centres. But anyway, they're different because the outside centre, as the name suggests, stands outside the inside centre. And there's a different role associated with that. The outside centre is really important with when it comes to attack. Outside centres need to be able to catch at pace, pass under pressure, set up tries, and they need speed and power to exploit gaps created by the other players around them. In defense as well, they are super crucial because if they fudge up their defensive read because of the more space that there is out there in the outside channels, that can often lead to tries being scored. So number 13, outside center, is really important for defense. They have to be really on it. You don't want a weak defender out there. They all say it's all say that it's the most difficult position to defend in. So some famous, especially good outside centres have been one of Ireland's greatest players, Drico, Brian O'Driscoll, New Zealand's Conrad Smith, older brother of Ben and Aaron. Not really. Tano Manga, Aurélien Rougerie. Those guys were typically kind of in the kind of workhorse type mold, bit sort of slimmer, athletic, but really good at defensive reads and really good at exploiting gaps when they appeared. There are some other really prominent ones like Manu Tuolangi and Big Fat Bastero, who are very different to the others. They're much bigger, big wrecking balls. Think about the new Dolphins player whose name escapes me right now. That kind of mold. Big battering rams, but that's not typical. So we're looking for someone who is an excellent defender, who is quick, can exploit these gaps, has got a really good pass, and has a bit of X factor about them. That's a bonus. So this is a really spicy episode. This is a really spicy list. Really gonna have some fun with this. This is where we start to get into the players who are going to be playing a little bit different positions to what they usually would be. Wingers and fullbacks, they're kind of the same position-wise, so not a whole lot of difference there, whereas in the centers, in the forwards, we're going to have a lot more people moving around, a lot more surprises. That's the news. I say that, but number one is pretty unsurprising. It is Latrell Mitchell. Now, some of you might have been wondering where he was in the fullback video. For the Rabbitohs, he does play fullback, but for state and country, he does play center. I also think, given his size at 6'4", 193 centimeters, and 102 kilos, I think he's much more suited to center role, in particular outside center, because he doesn't look quick when you look at him, but he is deceptively fast. He sets up bucket loads of tries, and that's why he's at fullback for South Sydney. But in this Wallabies team, I'd really like to see him at 13, really getting around people, passing, getting people into space, setting up people, using his pace and power to really exploit the gaps and to run over people, because he's flipping massive and big and strong and fast and strong and big and let's stop that again. So from 160 NRL games, he has scored 98 tries. He's also a goal kicker, 335 goals in 160 games. That's pretty good. And also 4 field goals. So the Wallabies also have a kicking option. Someone a bit like Reece Hodge would really help out, except that Reece Hodge is, I really highly rate him, and I think he's really unlucky not to get more game time for the Wallabies, but he's kind of that jack of all trades, master of none type character, so I think that's why he hasn't got that much game time. Latrell Mitchell, on the other hand, is an absolute superstar, not only for his playing ability, but he's just got bucket loads of charisma. He's another guy who is, he's indigenous, originally from Taree, in northern or central New South Wales. He has been a great servant of the game in terms of Indigenous representation, which I think is really important given that Indigenous Australians are really underrepresented in Australian society in general, but on the world stage, it's such a shame. I said this about Selwyn Cobbo, but in the previous video, it's such a shame that given the lack of popularity of rugby league and Australian rules football, which have shed loads, I nearly swore then, fudging shed loads of Indigenous players in them. It's such a shame that people around the world, like rugby union, obviously is much more widespread. It's such a shame that people around the world don't get to see the absolute genius and charisma and just big, silly, happy face of players like Selwyn Cobbo and other Indigenous players who contribute such load to the game. One of my choices for 13 would be Latrell Mitchell. The second one, continuing with the Indigenous theme, is the Hammer, Hamaso Tabuai Fido. His mum is Torres Strait Islander. Torres Strait, by the way, are the islands between Australia and Papua New Guinea. And his dad is Samoan, so he has represented Samoa before. But this year he played 3 games for Australia, 3 games for the Kangaroos. Yep. 3 games for the Kangaroos and scored 2 tries. This guy, he's been on the scene for a few years, but this year in particular, he has just absolutely smashed it. If you watch that first game against the Roosters last year, he absolutely killed him playing at fullback. Again, another fullback. In rugby league teams, they tend to sort of put the best attacking player at fullback. Attacking, not just attacking, but also in terms of scoring tries themselves, but also setting up for people around them. They tend to put them at fullback so they can sort of play out on both sides of the pitch. Again, I think he would be more suited to outside centre, someone who's lightning quick. He is absolutely flipping rapid. Watch that try in the first game of State of Origin where he absolutely gasses everyone, including Fox, Josh Adokar, who is supposed to be one of the fastest guys on the planet, so absolutely gasses him. In terms of setting up tries, I think he would also be good, but he's kind of more of a Manu Tuolangi, not in terms of his size, of course, but in terms of his attacking threat and that he would kind of draw in so many people that I think, yeah, he'd be a really good outside centre. Great. Great analysis there. The third one, another Indigenous player. It just kind of shows what a joke rugby union is in Australia in terms of Indigenous representation, because there's another guy I think would be absolutely amazing. Honestly, might not be first choice, 13, but would add a hell of a lot to strength and depth of the Wallabies, would be Bradman Best. This guy's another young guy, only 22 years old. He made his debut for New South Wales this year and absolutely killed it. He is, as you can see by his statistics, he is big and strong and mobile, fast. He honestly, I think, would be good at 12 or 13. I just thought 13 maybe as someone who would kind of really punch the hole and be on the end of these, maybe the inside centers work and the fly halves work, and he could really finish it off. So yeah, pretty prolific try scorer, 30 tries in 70 games for the Knights. I think he, would be a really good addition to the Wallabies. The fourth one I've got is Stephen Crichton. Now, Critter, as he's known, plays for Samoa, and he was born in Samoa, but he grew up in New South Wales. He plays for New South Wales, so kind of similar to Brian To'o. I think if the two codes were to come together, or if there was a universe where both the codes came together, or NRL players were available for the Wallabies or something like that, he would, I believe, play for the Wallabies. Again, don't know. You have to ask him. This guy is a little bit different to the others. He is very tall, as you can see, a little bit slimmer, but he's rapid and he has a great out the back of the hand pass. He sets up loads of tries for the Panthers. He's solid in defense. He is an awesome kicker as well. He's another kicker and he's just on fire. He has 38 try assists, which is quite a lot. So again, I think he would be a really good outside centre. The last one is someone who I actually kind of forgot about because he's had so many injuries this year, but someone who was in the Kangaroos World Cup squad in 2022, Campbell Graham. This guy, he's another like giraffe. He's one of the tallest players in the NRL, 6'6", which is 197, I think, centimeters. The first part of the season, last season, he was absolutely on fire, scoring tries for fun, really embarrassed my Broncos team. And I thought, flip, this guy is dangerous and he should definitely play for New South Wales. Unfortunately, he was injured, so he didn't get to do that last year, but this guy is big and strong and powerful, great try scorer. Also, as you can tell by his name, obviously, Campbell, which means end of a Campbell, he qualifies for Scotland as well. So why not, you know? Scotland do already have a lot of Australian centres, but why not have another one? He would actually be amazing for Scotland, so that's another one. So that about wraps up this video. Hopefully a little bit shorter than the other ones, a little bit more punchy. So please like, comment below who would be your 13 for the Wallabies. Please subscribe, give me some love. And stay tuned for the next video, which will be on the Inside Centre. So, bye.